This is the Traders Exclusive Live Trader Showcase. This is a quarterly event where we feature expert traders, our year-end edition of the Live Trader Showcase. So please check out tradersexclusive.com where we regularly post our video clips with valuable trading tips and techniques. That's also where you're going to find the recordings of today's webinar. And of course, I'll send you an email so you can find them. Before we get started, you know the drill. You should carefully consider whether trading is suitable for you in light of your circumstances, knowledge, and financial resources. You may lose all or more of your initial investment. Opinions, market data, and recommendations are subject to change at any time. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. And that is our cue to get started. This is our lineup. We want to thank our sponsors for December. We have blue chip sponsors, Market Taker Mentoring, Hit and Run Candlesticks, and Vantage Points. And our IPO sponsor is Moomoo. Hey, I want to introduce you to Moomoo, one of our sponsors for our December event. You can enjoy 5.1% annualized yield on your uninvested cash through the Moomoo Cash Sweep program. And you can receive up to 15 free stocks when signing up with Moomoo, or up to $400 when you transfer your assets to Moomoo. I have something really incredible to share. It's all about the Cash Sweep program on Moomoo. Now, Moomoo is a Silicon Valley-based online broker providing comprehensive market data and research tools. Now, Moomoo is elevating its Cash Sweep program with an unprecedented 5.1% APY on your uninvested cash, higher than what you'll find with most mainstream brokers. There's no minimum deposit or balance requirement. You can begin with an amount that suits you, and there's no cap on the interest you can earn through the program. Interest accrues automatically on uninvested cash, ensuring users effortlessly maximize their earnings. You have the flexibility to invest your funds at any time. No manual redemption is necessary. In fact, your buying power is actually calculated based on the swept cash. Most importantly, your funds are safeguarded by the FDIC, which offers insurance coverage up to $1 million at partner banks. In addition to the 5.1% APY, new users can also enjoy one of the welcome bonuses. New users can receive up to 15 free stocks by opening an account and depositing funds. For example, depositing $100 earns them 5 free stocks, while depositing $1,000 entitles them to a total of 15 free stocks. Or, if you transfer your eligible assets to Moomoo, you can receive cash rewards of up to $400. So sign up with Moomoo now using our exclusive link below, and you could be eligible to receive one of these exciting offers. I want to thank our December sponsor, Hit and Run Candlesticks, and we'll be seeing Rick tomorrow. But right now, we're going to have a little bit of housekeeping. We will have a replay if you have to leave early. We will be posting that. It just takes me a little while to process the videos. Go to tradersexclusive.com and our replays get posted up there. Now, Todd, Bubba, Horwitz of BubbaTrading is in the house, and he is going to talk to us about day trader's dream. One of the things that you need to know is that for nearly 40 years, Todd Bubba Horwitz has enjoyed a successful career in the financial industry. He began his profession in 1980 as one of the original market makers in the SPX trading pit at the CBOE. He's traded at all of the major exchanges in Chicago and is currently a member of the CBOT. In addition to his trading for the past 8 years, he has concentrated on writing, education, and a media career. So in addition to his career as a skilled trader and investor, Bubba has spent the last 8 years as a mentor and educator to traders of all levels. He continues to concentrate on the education and training of would-be investors, teaching them the ins and outs of a professional trader. So we're really happy to have him here. But as the founder and chief strategist of BubbaTrading.com, he manages the development and distribution of all the market content, product development, and trade ideas. Thanks so much for being with us.
Welcome aboard, everybody. Great to be here. And Sherry, thank you so much for having me back. It's always a pleasure to be with you guys.
Thank you.
There's a lot to cover and always a lot of information. for everybody, and I'm always here to help and answer questions, but I will get into it. So I know we're running a bit late, so I'm going to get them back on schedule. I got a tea time at TPC. So anyways, this is Day Trader's Dream. And of course, it's one of the products that I have and I use. And of course, everything I trade, I use myself. I don't just put things out there. But nothing can stop the man or woman with the right mental attitude from achieving his goal. Nothing on earth can help the man with the wrong mental attitude. And of course, Anka touched on that. It's mental attitude when you're trading. And when you go to work, you don't go in your pajamas, you go to work. And you have to have a good attitude about it, because that's what life's about, having a good attitude and having that still always the array of hope, because when you get past that, you got big problems. And of course, if winning trades give you a buzz and losing trades make you depressed, you belong at a casino. And living in Las Vegas, I can tell you that that's factual. Okay. Trading is a matter of fact business. You're going to win, you're going to lose, but you're going to win more than you're going to lose, and you're going to make a profit if you do things properly and you follow the proper protocol of what you're trying to do. And of course, the disclaimer, which I'm sure you've already seen, but past results, and I don't talk a lot about past results anyways, but past results don't indicate or are not indicative of the future performance. But since I've been doing this is my 45th year starting now, so certainly I can talk about my past performance personally. But I think the first thing that everybody has to understand is when you're in a trade, you're going to have drawdowns. I don't care who you are. I don't care how good you are. Okay. It is impossible not to have a drawdown. Now, most people get nervous, they get upset when they have a drawdown. But the truth of the matter is that drawdowns are actually a benefit. If you know what your trading percentages are, if you know how you're doing, the drawdowns give you opportunity to add to positions based on your own personal probability. Because let's be very clear, trading is a probability model. Trading is a game. Okay, it's no different than playing poker, gin, backgammon, or bridge. It's got a mathematical outcome. And if you're following the right math and you're following the correct charts and the price action, then you're going to give yourself a big advantage when you do get the drawdown, because they're going to show up. And don't let anybody tell you that they don't, because they always do. Okay. Now, again, I am Todd Bubba Horwitz. I have been, this is my 45th year. I was one of the original market makers in the SPX. And the biggest thing I care about is every trade that I send out of my office, I am in there right with you, okay? And my trades are done automatically, so I don't have control. They're done via an algorithm, and they're done by a third party, so that everybody gets the same trade, okay? Now, when we look at success, nobody's lucky enough just to be successful, okay? You got to have a plan. You got to have execution. You got to know what you're trying to do. Okay, you have to know what you're trying to accomplish. And many people come into markets and play it almost like a lottery. And this is not a lottery. This is a business. And you better treat it as such. Because if you don't, all you're going to do is lose your money and have to find something else to do and have to replace that capital you lost. And the older you get, remember, your earning power goes down. So you better be very careful of how you invest your money and how you use your money, because at the end of the day, it's going to come down to you and how you handle everything around it, because you have to allow yourself to go through drawdowns, to go through periods, so you don't want to come in guns a-blazing. Never sacrifice your long-term goals for instant emotional gratification. I'm a big fan of what we call delayed gratification. If you're following a process and you are using the process correctly, okay, then you will get long-term or delayed gratification. Those who need to get the victory right this minute are never going to be successful, because typically what will happen to most of you is you'll never make enough on your winning trades, and you'll always lose more on the losing trades. That's why you have to understand that immediate gratification is not what we do. It is long-term or delayed gratification, knowing that you're playing, once again, the probabilities. Now, our agenda for today is we talk about just the facts. I'm a big fact guy. I don't care about anything else. The BS we all must contend with: price discovery, manipulation, algorithmic trading, margin and leverage, the mental game, futures, letter of direction trading, and CTG. Real results, how you can take advantage, and that's the wrong date, but with the real results are as of Saturday, and how you can take advantage now. And then, of course, Q&A, I'll answer any of your questions. And if you ever saw the movie Sergeant Bilko, and remember what he went through, but you got to have a plan. okay? You have to build a trading plan. And for all of you, whether you become members of mine or not, remember, you need a plan, and you need a plan for the different types of trading you may be doing. You may be trading options, you may be trading equities, you may be trading futures, okay? You may be swing and day trading. Each one of those things that you do has to have a separate plan, because there are different models, there are different profit targets, there are different things you're going to do. But the one thing that a plan always has to account for is, what are your goals? Your goals have to be realistic, okay? If you're coming out with unrealistic goals, like you say, well, I want to make $5,000 tomorrow, okay, and I've got $5,000 in my account, you're dreaming, okay? You're not going to do so. You're going to lose your money, okay? So make goals that are realistic, because attaining those goals, getting to those goals, you then reward yourself, and it keeps you with a positive mental attitude. You always have to be managing risk. Risk is probably the thing that most people will fail at, because we make exceptions when we're trading because we get caught up with the emotion, or we refuse to take the loss, or whatever it is. You have to make those things automatic, okay? Your strategy, hey, there's a million different strategies out there that are going to work, all right? It just depends on what you want to do and how involved you want to be in that strategy. I mean, I can read a chart better than anybody, and I don't have a CMT, I don't have anything, but I can read this, and I actually day trade off of these. So remember that, again, you have to know what your strategy is. You have to know how you're going to enter, okay? But more important than the entry is what? Is the exit, okay? You got to know when you put that trade on, where am I getting out? And if you're trading in the futures markets using stops, that stop should go in the minute that trade is entered, not later, not that I'm going to do it myself, but right away, because that's part of trade management. And the more you allow for free thinking and not automatic thinking as to exactly what you're going to do on every trade, the more trouble you're going to find yourself in as you watch and trade these markets, because that's really what it's about. And I talk about just the facts. You know, I've traded for 45 years, okay? I've made lots of money. I've lost lots of money, obviously. My only career until 2012 or 13, the only thing I ever did was trade by myself. Okay? I didn't teach anybody. I didn't get involved in it. But as the floor trading dried up, I became out, wrote a couple of books, became an educator, because to me, coaching people and helping people overcome the fears of the market and overcoming the devastation when you have to force to puke your portfolio out, as people did in 2008. I wanted to teach people that, because I've been very fortunate in my life. So I felt that I could offer an education to people and help them be better at it, which is why I do a couple of webinars a week as well, just for education, okay? And those are, any members get to come to those at no extra charge. It's just me talking about markets and showing you how they work. But again, I'm not going to make you ridiculous promises. I'm going to tell you what the facts are. That's all I do, okay? What do you mean this is Comedy Central? Of course, anybody you listen to, certain people on certain networks, you know, I'm a network guy. I do a lot of media, but you know what? I don't ever tell you anything but what my position is itself, okay? I am never going to tell you what you should be doing. I'm going to tell you, this is my position. This is what the algorithm tells me. This is where I'm at, and this is what I own, okay? I'm not going to give you promises of billions of dollars, because I think that's ridiculous. You know, there's no telling, because there are so many variables in a market, okay, in any given period of time, that for me to make promises like that would be foolish, and I'd be lying, which I hate to do. Lessons to be learned: predictions and forecasts are a waste of time. Okay, look, nobody can predict what this market's going to do. Who here would have thought that we would be up 9% in November? Santa Claus rally or not? Okay, who here would ever thought that would have happened? Okay, fortunately, we were long through that period, but focus primarily on stock picking rather than market timing. And it's either stock or futures picking. Again, whatever you're trading, it doesn't matter. Realize this, that all markets are the same. Okay, they're all going to trade the same way. They're all going to trade off of the same type of chart patterns. So don't think that one is more special than the other. There are benefits to trading futures over options or over equities, and using options to create derivatives. But at the end of the day, they're trading wise, they're all going to trade the same. Okay. Use charts as a framework for your trade management. And all that means is I use, for example, I day trade live every morning with my members for an hour, okay? And I'm using a 4-minute time frame, okay, on one, and my entry time frame is based on 1 minute, okay? So again, it's the framework, it's what I'm using. If I'm trading something on a swing trade, I'm using a daily chart with an hourly short-term time frame, because I do believe that the best success comes when you learn to use multiple time frames. Okay, be aggressive at both cutting losses and chasing gains. And again, you want to make sure that you don't give up the gains, and you want to make sure that you're always your first move of your stop should always be to break even. Okay, you never want to let a winning trade escape. Break even, I can tolerate, but I don't want to let it turn into a loser. And I'm not talking about a trade that's won $10. I'm talking about a trade that's up a couple $100. You cannot let that profit escape, but you also want to give the market every opportunity to run so that you don't miss the big trades as well. Don't fear losing trades. Losing trades are part of the process, okay? Look, every trade you make is an education process, whether it wins or whether it loses, because if you go back and do a post-mortem on your trades, which I recommend, okay, if you made a bad trade and you got lucky, hey, good for you. If you made a good trade and it lost money, that's going to happen. Don't focus on what's bad. Focus on learning what can be good and what you can do better, okay? Profits will occur unevenly. You know, listen, you're going to have some big trades, some big winners, okay? You should never have a monster loser, because you should have a stopping. But your profits can range. They can be big, they can be little. Okay, I call them no-brainers, right? Because every once in a while you catch the no-brainer. It just goes straight up and right in your direction. Okay. No trading approach is inherently superior, so develop your own style. And that's Anna stepped on that a little bit and said, you know, again, you got to figure out the style that you want to trade, because every one of us has a different mindset, a different risk parameters in our own mind. Okay, work to keep your closed accounts as high as possible. So that's, of course, we get the drawdown. Our new strive is to make a new high in that account and always maintain a positive mindset. Now, is trading math or magic? Okay, well, it's pretty much a math-based business. Okay, there's a lot of geometry that goes in to looking at a chart. You don't have to know geometry, you don't have to be a math major, but if you understand the mechanics and the math, which is how you can create the algorithms, which is how we create our algorithms, is based on the math, based on the different phases of the markets that are out there. And you know, what are the different phases? Quickly, it's the markets consolidate, which they spend 65% of the time. Markets break out to a trend, up or down, and eventually markets blow off to a panic sell or a panic buy, and then you usually have some mean reversion. Pretty basic, pretty simple, but all pretty much mathematical, okay? And it's very important for you to understand what you're trying to do. But all you have to do is look, and if you look at a chart, any given chart, and if I'm looking at this right now, I can see that the Dow or the YM is in consolidation right now. It's coming down towards the bottom end. That's just pretty simple, pretty easy to look at. I can see that the S&P is downtrending right now, okay? So again, we're just looking to understand what the market is telling us, because the market is leaving a map, it is leaving a footprint for you. Now, margin and leverage, this is always a very big thing, and it's probably the most misunderstood, okay? You know, just because you can trade $20,000 worth of product with a $5,000 account doesn't mean you should trade, okay? Leverage can be wonderful and it can be dangerous, all right? You have to keep your leverage in mind with your mindset, with your ability and toleration of risk, because again, I promise you, if you're trading too big for your mindset, no matter how much money you have, you're going to lose, okay? You've got to understand the leverage that we use in this business, and you have to understand to put yourself in a comfortable position that you're not going to panic if something goes wrong. You know, in futures, which is where we'll be going here today, and is the beautiful thing about futures is you can get more buying power. You do get special trading margins for day trading versus overnight trading. It's a lot more flexible than the equity market. Now, granted, I do trade both, so I'm never going to tell you one is better than the other. But for what we're doing, futures is by far, as they say in horse racing, is tons the best. Okay, but you have to understand, again, the game of trading, the mental side of trading, and we call it gaming the market. Okay, now if any of you are game players, I mentioned them earlier, but the four major games, backgammon, bridge, poker, and gin, those are all games that the better player is going to win. Okay, they're not going to win every time because, again, you're still a small luck element. But if you're a grinder and you're going to grind it out over time, okay, which means you have to have the mental fortitude to be able to sit there and not take trades, because, you know, a no trade is also a trade. Making a decision not to make a trade is a trade. Okay, and it's hard to sit in front of a machine all day without creating mirages that don't exist. So I warn you, and again, whether you become a member or not, these are things that you need to learn for yourself, okay, to put yourself always in that best position, because we don't want to play games of chance. We want to put ourselves in a winning position. If we lose, we lose, but at least we went in with what we call the best of it. And it's really investing in yourself, okay? And how do you invest in yourself? Well, you make a decision to either take an education course, let's follow somebody else's trades, you do a little bit of both. Again, I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money or what to do with it. I'm going to tell you stop wasting your money, okay, trying to figure it out until you learn the basics of discipline, of patience, of being able to read the chart. Okay, that's what I'm going to tell you before you do anything. Because if you don't understand it and you're just shooting in because you heard something on the news, you're a fool. Okay, following the news, especially in 2023, is a fool's errand, because by the time you hear the news, you're probably the 1 millionth person to get that news. You know, in 1980, when I started, and there was 50 traders in an office looking at a 12-inch DOS computer looking for news, that's when news meant something, because it didn't get around so fast. Now the news gets around from China to California in 30 seconds. Okay, so you're not going to beat the news. Don't try to trade it. Invest in yourself. Learn to understand what you're seeing and the price action of the market. Okay, whether you're looking at a short-term chart or whether you're looking at a longer-term chart. Okay, they're all going to be the same eventually. Why futures are the best option? Well, futures are highly leveraged. Okay, you get day trading margin. Futures are more liquid. Commissions and executions costs are lower. Futures markets are more efficient. Short selling is easier. You get day trading margins. You don't have that ridiculous pain in the ass FINRA day trading rule. Any of you ever been caught in that FINRA day trading rule? That's one of the worst rules. And by the way, that isn't there to protect you. It's there to protect the broker. Okay, so let's not kid ourselves and think that the agencies actually have our best interests at heart. They're there to protect others, not us. Okay. Now the benefits of auto trading, okay, or letter of direction trading, automatic trading systems minimize emotions throughout the trading process. It preserves your discipline. It diversifies your trading. It avoids any mechanical failures. You have somebody monitoring the trades for you. You never miss a trade, and you don't have the temptation to cherry pick. You know, any of you ever had the temptation to cherry pick a trade? Is this guy going to talk about trading or generalities? I'm going to talk about our system when I get there, but I think that it's important you understand the market. If you're that good, you understand the market, hey, good for you. I'm thrilled. Okay. But I think that most people don't understand how the markets actually function. And I think these are important factors for them. Okay. If it doesn't help you, hey, I'm sorry. I wish I could, but you know, hey, I gotta teach to everybody, not just to what you want. So what is trend trading? Okay. You know, markets trend, markets consolidate, markets get crazy, they do wild things. But a trend is a market that is either consistently going up, making higher highs and higher lows, or consistently going down, making lower highs and lower lows. All right, so when you think about it, okay, the markets will trend probably about 30% of the time. About 65% of the time, the markets are doing nothing but chopping and consolidation, which you can see, for example, in the Qs right now. They've done nothing really for the last 3 weeks. They've stuck in this little tight consolidation range. And for those who might trade Bitcoin, you can see what the result can be when the compression of a market gets too crazy. And look what happened here. It got so tight and so wound that it finally broke out hard to the upside. Okay. So again, it's understanding what can happen based on what is the trend. Now, one of the things that we do, okay, is we've written and designed software, okay, that makes these decisions for us. It takes all of my trading experience, all of some of my other people's trading experiences, using the phases of the market I like to talk about, using a lot of the mathematical things that we talk about when we're trading. Why? Because again, it comes back down to a very simple thing. Is the market trending? Is it consolidating? What is it doing? Okay. So the Rex Leonum software is based on looking for a trend. Okay. And what we're looking for is we're looking to trade off of a 2-hour trend. Okay. Because we're only using this during the day. So what we use is we use 2 time frames. We use 2 hours as the master time frame, and we use 5 minutes as the short-term time frame. Now, all that really means is that if the market is trending higher, okay, and we get a buy signal in the 5-minute trade, we're going to make the buy on that 5-minute bar. Okay, we will set our stop as well at the same time. But if the market is trending down and we get a buy signal, we do not take that. And the opposite goes for the short side of the market. If the market's trending lower, we get a sell signal, we take the sell. So we're going to miss a lot of trades, okay? But what we're really going to be in is in what we would call the prime trades, the ones that everything matches correctly to give us the right move into the trend that lets us ride along, making the algorithm that we have written much more profitable and much more successful, and alleviating a lot of the variances that you have seen in your trading. Okay, you know, again, wild swings in your trading account should not be what you're looking for. You should be looking for consistency, whether there's some small losers that take you into a drawdown or winners. And of course, the big surprises will always come to the upside if you're using the right strategy and the right program. Because at the end of the day, we know that markets have fluctuations. We know that they trade. We know that there's short-term fluctuations that happen. There's nothing that can be helped about that. We've had 1 trade today, okay, which was a losing trade. Okay, again, I'm never going to lie to you and tell you what it wasn't a losing trade. We had 1 trade today so far. It was a losing trade. We had caught getting long the S&P, which was actually running higher, and of course it immediately turned around. So hey, that happens. We got stopped out. We're out, and we're now sitting. We also only if we have 2 losing trades in a day, we stop trading for that particular day. Okay. Now the day trader's dream, okay, it trades only the original pit hours only, and that is in the currencies was 8 a.m. Eastern approximately, actually 8:20 Eastern to 3:10 Eastern. Equities from 9:30 to 4 o'clock. Okay. Any signals outside of those hours do not get traded. No trade can be entered until 8 a.m., which is right after the market's open, and no trade will be entered after 3 p.m. Eastern. Day traders uses micros and or minis, depending on the size of accounts you have. Trades are done in block orders, so everybody gets the same fill. Okay. All trades are executed by capital trading. Now, this has to be done, this method has to be done through what we call letter of direction trading, because the signals come out so fast that there's no way I could ever get them to you and give you a fair execution. Okay. So I'm in the same boat as everybody else. I have an account. They're trading in my account just like they would be trading yours, but we do offer worldwide trading. So that's something that is very good for everybody, because if wherever you're from, I mean, I've got members from Australia, Japan, to Alaska and Hawaii. So, and everywhere in between. And have done well. And of course, obviously, if you're in one of those odd time zones, this is a great product, because if you don't want to be up to trade, you don't have to be up. You know, I'm going to play golf after this. I'm going to TPC today. Okay. But here are the results over the last couple of months of the day trader's dream. The -1% is on the smaller size of accounts. they have a little bit more to overcome, and 23% on the bigger accounts. And the bigger accounts are 20,000 plus. Okay, the smaller accounts are generally under 10,000, but they're losing 1%. Okay, that's the exact what you're looking at. They've both been profitable, and we expect them both to remain and become very profitable because of the methods that we're using and the way that we're stopping ourselves and not taking multiple trades. Because if you've ever traded, you've seen sometimes you can get chopped around in these markets a little bit because they can whipsaw on thin volume, which is exactly what we're going into. And as a matter of fact, as we come towards, in my eyes, there's 7 trading days left in the year. Okay, because after December 15th, most traders like myself take off because there's nothing to do between Christmas and New Year's. Now, what are the benefits of auto trading? You don't pay any data fees. It removes your emotions. You maintain control over your account. You stop whenever you want. All clients receive the same price and execution for every order. No pattern day trading restrictions, and Rule 1256 tax. Okay, now what is Rule 56 tax? That's why if you're a day trader, you want to use the futures market, okay, because you get taxed at a lower rate. Okay, it's very simple. Capital gains tax is at a lower rate. Check with your accountant. You don't take my word for it. Okay. Now we do everything through Capital Trading Group. Okay? Those are friends of mine for over 30 years. They've been in business together since 2006. They were both part of the floor. They weren't floor traders. They worked for Chicago Corp. They worked for Base. They worked for some of the brokers. But they built an IB, and they do a phenomenal job, and are partners with us on a lot of our products. And in fact, they're going to have a special offer for you today too before I get through. But again, they do a wonderful job. And if you got a problem, you pick up the phone, they're going to answer. You don't have to go through their voicemail system. They're going to pick up the phone and they're going to answer. And more than likely, you're going to talk to one of the owners, Noel Sloan or Pat Lafferty. Okay. Now, again, 1256 is 60/40 tax treatment. Again, in yellow, talk to your attorney. Okay, do not just take my word for it. Talk to your accountant, your tax attorney, whichever it is. Okay, it's something for you to check into. But I assure you, you'll find that that's why I day trade futures and don't day trade options. Okay. Now, you open a brokerage account with Capital Trading Group. They execute all the trades to your account. Any live trade variances across our client block are averaged across all clients to ensure all receive the same result for each trade. Client can see trades once all are allocated through their own online portal. So you have your account, you can log in and see. Now what will happen is you won't always see the exact trade at the exact moment, because if we're taking off partials for profits, okay, they have to be still split out through everybody else. But by the end of the day, your account you'll be able to see every trade that was made in your account. You'll see your profit or your loss for the day, and that's if you want to check it. Of course, we send it out, and every Saturday I send out a full report for the entire week with a spreadsheet of every trade as well. Now, how do you keep track of your account? You go right to your own. You go right to your own account number. You log in. You look it up. You see exactly how you do. You can watch 24/7. There's always, we're not trading that often, but there is always an accounting for what you have done during that day. And of course, the old futures versus options debate. Okay, here's the deal. Okay, futures as a short-term day trader are a much better vehicle for about 1,000 reasons, but I'll give you 5. Okay, no FINRA day trading rules, better tax treatment, more liquidity, more hours to potentially trade if you want to. Okay, much more liquid markets. The disadvantage of options, and I'm an options trader. That was I started at the CBOE as an options trader, and I'm not against options. I use options all the time, but I know how to use them. I know how to use them right, and I know that they're not a great day trading vehicle. So there's no reason to use them or try to day trade them. Okay, you got implied volatility that is constantly changing. You cannot overcome the bid-offer spread. Okay, there's many times trouble with liquidity in the option market. Okay, now again, if you're swing trading, options are great. Okay, but if you're trying to day trade them, you have margin problems, you've got FINRA problems, you've got liquidity problems, and many other sources that go along with it. Again, and I'm not bashing options. Again, it is something that I believe in. I use them all the time, but I use them if I'm going to hold a trade and not to day trade. I don't, I day trade myself on 4 minutes. I use the day trader's dream. Okay, I use my portfolio models, which carries positions overnight. Okay, and among other things. So I've got about 7 or 8 different trading plans that I have to go through to make sure. But it is your understanding of the market in general, and whether you go with the automation, which we're offering, or you trade on your own. It is understanding the workings of this market and these charts. And if I'm just looking back, if I see anything here, like I will make a trade. If I saw something to do, I would make a trade. Okay, live in front of you. But there's really nothing to do because we're seeing very, very quiet action. It makes trading much tougher. When you're playing in a business that is based on the law of large numbers, the more trades you can make if you're trading properly, the more profitable you're going to be. Okay, that is something that is important to understand. The more trades you can make if you're trading properly, the more profitable you're going to be. So you want a very active market, which creates more liquidity, more action, and more money-making opportunities. What about zero D trade? They're okay. I use them. Okay, again, but I don't think that they're day tradable, right? Look, if you're doing well with them, God bless you. Okay, I sold some spreads this morning. Okay, in the zero DTEs. All right, I have no problem with it. Again, today I'm talking about futures. You want to talk about options with me? You can come to my options call and listen to it. But again, I use zero DTEs. I use a lot of calendars and a lot of double diagonals. Okay, again, I know how to trade options. I've written 2 books on the subject. Okay, I do it all. All right, I mean, I trade every day, all day, except when there's nothing to do, and then I go play golf or go play poker. That's what I do. But let the algorithm work for you. Okay, enjoy your day. That's what I want you to be able to do. You want to be more active? Hey, no problem. That's good too. All right. I mean, I got members that trade with me an hour every morning. We trade live together, futures every morning for an hour. Okay, and we will be trading the jobs number Friday. And out of the 84 months of trading a jobs number, we've made money 80 months out of 84. Okay, and we've made money. We've had 2 losing days in the last 60 days. Of day trading. Now again, they're not all big winners. So a lot of them are scratch, which floor traders call a scratch. Okay, very little profit, enough to cover costs. But again, we understand how to stay in the game, which is the biggest thing, right? You got to stay in the game. What others have had to say, and I'll just share your one with you. I wanted to take time to write you this note and thank you. No one has ever tried to help me build wealth. People have talked to me about principles of saving, but no one has ever shown how to build it. I'm most likely your worst student, and so far in being financially independent because of my past mistakes. It's taken me so long to realize that what you teach, it's a grind of love. I believe you and appreciate you. What you're doing for me and my family. God bless you and your family. And again, that's what can I tell you? Okay, I get these every day because I work hard to make people better, because I do believe that there's a living and there's money to be made in this business, but so many people have so many bad habits over the years from so much poor training that they end up losing their money and end up going on to something else. Okay. In the meantime, if you want to become a member, okay, and you want to take advantage today, okay, it's day trading futures. All the executions are done by Capital Trading Group. We take no overnight risk in this particular model. All trades are determined by a proprietary algorithm. There's no emotions. For the first 15 people, you can go for $99 a month, or if you want to go annual, I'm giving you a buy one and you can gift one to somebody. Okay, buy one and gift one for $1,000. Okay, it's BubbaTrading.com/dream. And if you become a member today, I will allow you to come and trade with me for 30 days live every morning. Okay, it's usually 9:30 to 10:30 Eastern, but obviously the jobs number will not be. This morning we tried to trade the ADP number, and I will give you 30 days for free, and I will go one step farther with that. I will give you the 30 days starting in January, because I don't suspect that there's going to be much trading after the 15th of this month. So I will give you those 30 days starting January, the first trading day of January, if you decide to become a member with me. Okay, but wait, there is more. Okay. And I do also do portfolios, full portfolios that are always in the market, either long or short. Okay. In some of the portfolios, we trade as many as 28 different markets that are based on the same algorithm, but they're carrying positions. Okay. Capital Trading Group, because they want to help you as well, is willing to sponsor you for 1 year if you use their letter of direction trading on this model as well. So not only do you get the normal day trading model, which is what you're here for, okay, but you're going to get 30 days to trade with me live in the morning, okay, starting in January, because again, I don't want you to get cheated of the time. And I'm going to suspect that I won't be trading much after the 15th, even with my members. And you can get 1 year free of our portfolio models, okay? And that is what I have. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And there's a couple of option questions. Options are great if you know how to use them. You don't want to sell them naked. You'd rather create positions that protect risk. Covered calls are horrible. If you use them, stop, sell a call spread instead. But what we basically try to set up most of the time is right now we're trying to buy future volatility and sell short-term volatility because it's so low. We want to be ready there for when the volatility pops. Okay. Anybody else have any other questions? I know I told you I'd get you back on schedule. I didn't know I'd get there that fast. So, but again, I've been doing this 45 years, and this is the best that I've got. Okay. The methods that I teach are the best in the business because I know it from a floor trader without a chart. Okay, and having to actually, in my start of my days used to be having to convert fractions to make markets so that I could get a trade. Okay, and then they went, of course, to decimals that changed it. And of course, I've done subsequently getting the futures and other things and hedging. And you know, I have a full portfolio that is completely hedged to an absolute risk of 3%. So I don't ever have to worry about what happens in the markets overnight. Okay, so again, it's BubbaTrading.com/dream if you'd like to become a member today. And again, if you do become a member today, you can have 30 days live with me starting in January, and you can get the futures portfolio models through CTG at no cost. And for everybody, if you email me direct at bubba@bubbatrading.com, I will give you a copy of my book, Bubba's Guide to Trading Options, okay, which through a PDF file. I'm more than happy to give that to you as well. And Sherry, that's what I got. I know I'm early. I got you right back on schedule.
I'm speechless.
I'm never speechless, as you know.
You just really bring it out and bring it through. Oh, that's awesome.